Okay, so welcome again every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m., start of the week. So the objective of start of the week is to actually update you on in terms of financial news and anything relating to the latest news and financial tips regarding to the market or also financial as well. So welcome again. Thank you for joining me. So today is me alone. So yes, I hope you guys will be familiar face. Every will be seeing me. Most of the time I'll be here as well. So today is the last day of May. So wondering how has May been for you? And we are entering the next month. June will be the last month of quarter two, second quarter. So how has everything been for you? So I hope things are well. And recently they are also now once we are opening up, also started to also have more people around me being like get to probably also contracted the virus as well. So something that has becoming more common. I hope all is well for everyone. So today, I think one of the news article that caught me the past few days, there's a few. So it's more towards relating to work and as job as well. So one of the article that caught me is about the wage growth. So the wage growth in the past, at least from last year onwards, since 2021, the wage growth has been rebounding. So first question is your wage growing? So how much is your wage growing as well? Then the next question. So in general, 7 in 10 workers receive a pay rise. So that was the statistics in 2021. So the wage growth is around like 3.9%. So that's the average, the amount. So not so sure whether how is it been for you guys. So that's the at least you all have a benchmark, something to reference on in terms of like increasing your wages as well. So for myself, being a self-employed, uh, controlling my own wage on my own growth, that is something that for us lah. And yes, so for that, moving forward, I think since the economy are slightly starting to pick up, so more and more people actually also trying to have more expectation in terms of the wage growth for this year, 2022, to have a wage growth and depending how much is the growth. So that will be depending on different sectors. So in terms of the trade and the sectors wise, the growth will be higher than 2021. There's a few. So I think, for example, professional services, retail trade, like information and communications, IT as well, manufacturing, construction. So quite a number of them actually are at the growth is higher than 2021. That's the expected growth. So something that people, you guys, if you are in this sector, just do look out for that. And there are people also mentioning about this, like it's called great negotiations as well. So what is this article about? It's also talking about more and more people are trying to negotiate to get better terms and also like better like in terms of like flexibility, the training and the pay for themselves as well for when you're working. So this is something that has been there's an article that's been mentioning about. So I think one of the very interesting thing that actually caught my eye is also one of the article mentioning about there's this Singapore office worker. He wants to quit his $3,400 job because he has too much free time. So I'll have one question. So if you have too much free time in your work, will you quit? And how much free time is free time to you? Yeah. So and I think in terms of the pay wise, really depending on what is the comfortable level. Because early this morning, I managed to took a taxi. So this driver is very interesting that he shared with me that he has been working in the corporate line for over 30 years. So when before he left, as in he switched career to be a taxi driver, at that point of time in the company, he felt that he was like being paid, not doing much things in the office as well. So being in the, I think more towards like middle management after his many years of roles in the company that he's in, and the company at that point of time is also undergoing through some cyclical that is unable to, is not making much profit. So from his point of view, he's thinking, if I'm being paid and I'm not really doing much contributing back to the company, if there's a chance, might as well I opt out. So he chose to be re-opt or actually be retrenched by the company. So for the company to cut down on their costs as well. So this is something really very interesting that caught my attention as well. So it's in line with the article that it happened that this is another article that I ran through. So really, if you were in the similar situation, you do that because that driver itself, when he took the plunge and volunteered to be retrenched, one of the things is because of age, he's also definitely won't be able to get back similar job and similar pay, and the chances of him being re-employed is pretty low. So he's more or less prepared, and that's why thereafter he chose to become a taxi driver. So really very interesting that like there's been a while then he has been being a taxi driver for more than 5 years already. So it's really a something that interesting for people to find out and to look forward to as well. So I think the few things that I want to share with you guys is also let you guys know about. So most of the people, the wage is expected to grow. So hey, hello Fionn, Vivian and Jason, thank you for joining us today as well. So I think it's very important to think about, is your wage grow every year on year, or whether it's in these times when the economy is picking up, everybody the wage growth is at least there's a reference benchmark. Are you being paid at least within the benchmark, above, below average? Then there's things that you should look into, whether there are a lot of factors, whether are you happy with your job, happy with what you're doing, the boss, the environment, and also what else, what are the options that's available. So I also do have like clients who share with me that there's a period of time when they also do not know what to do. So they took up this opportunity whereby to upskill themselves, so they can go for courses undergoing through skills future, which I think something that I really again like to applaud our government for doing this for the population of Singapore. So Singapore citizens are entitled to skills future credit. So it's a credit to allow us to utilize this to go for skills or some training or courses, subsidizing partial of it or of the full amount of the course fees. So this is really amazing. So this is something that we can do to upskill ourselves and to increase the employability as well. So this is something that is a fruit for thought for all of you, and also want you guys to think about. So in the next time round, let's say there's a review upcoming, we'll be also thinking to at least we can review and know how to negotiate or say, hey, I think my pay rise should be of a certain percentage, right? At least maybe within the average or above average. So I think the very important thing is like, what is the value we have brought, and whether is it justifiable for the increment. And then again, do take note, inflation is always there, and our inflation, at least for the last month, in April, has been hitting around 3% already. So I think, yeah, around 3%. So definitely, if your growth of your pay, does it keep up with inflation? More, less, slower, or no change? So something that to put for thought as well. So these are the few things, and definitely the roads ahead, the economy is still expected to grow, which is a good thing. At least within Singapore itself, we are definitely going to see growth. Just that the growth has been cut back to the projection to be not as high, but definitely still a positive growth, and is really happy to see and very fortunate to be in Singapore. So that's all for today, and definitely we'll just share more and hope to see you guys again next Tuesday, same timing, 12:30 p.m. start of the week. In the event if there's any change in timing as well, we'll definitely be letting you guys know, and do give us feedback and also let us know what are the things that if there's anything that caught you and you'd like us to share more and to talk about in future as well. So I think that's all for today. See you all. Thank you. Bye bye.